One of the things that I always like to talk about is our involvement with associations and groups. Lisa and Matt, Glenn and Bruce and I were having a discussion at dinner about what associations are important to you. And when I take a look at this room and I talk to some of the people who've been longtime members, this is an important group. It's an important group for you because you get something out of it. And there's some return on your investment. And probably your investment is time, right? Many, many years ago, when I was first getting into business, I heard a lot about the Ontario Trucking Association. And I heard the good and the bad. So I reached out and talked to some of the people in the industry that I knew and asked them their opinions. And it kept coming back to the same result every time. It's a great association, but you got to be involved. And it's sometimes viewed as an old boys club. Well, I can tell you, after being involved with that association for over 20 years, it's completely not that. But it's what we put into it is exactly what we get back. We attend their functions, we get involved with their committees, we go to their convention, and we participate. And we collect business cards, and we learn about people, right? To find out if there's opportunities. And if there's not opportunities, there's still that ability to connect. And hopefully, after we leave here tonight, there'll be a connection somewhere down the road. And it doesn't have to be business, right? Because some of you we know in the room, some we don't. We think it's very important that we become known as the he knows a guy. So many times I'll get a phone call and someone will say to me, I'm interested in talking to Terry. Do you know him? Well, sure I do. What are you doing? And there's a connection there made, and then there's a follow-up, and maybe a quick call. I had a gentleman today who came into our office and said, I want to go to the oil patch. I graduate next week. His name is David Mills. Matt? His name is David Mills. He graduates next week. I don't know anybody in the oil patch. At least I didn't think I did. And then my wheels got spinning. And a guy that I used to play hockey with many years ago is out there, started a trucking company, but he's very connected with the patch. His name is Jason Wren. So I walked back into where I knew this client was. I said, I know a guy. Let me see if I can get his information. And it took me about less than 5 minutes, and I'm not really technically sound, Lisa. But I went on to my LinkedIn connections, and I found him, and I got his email address, and I got his phone number where he was. And I sent him a quick note. I said, you're going to be hearing from David Mills. If you know anybody in the patch that can use a good entry-level person, he's coming out there. No strings attached. He wants to come. And then I took out one of these cards because I want him to subscribe, because I want to have 15,001 followers tomorrow. And I wrote Jason's name on this card and his cell number and his email address, and I took it into David, and I said, there you go. All you need to do is subscribe to the rearview mirror and then turn it over and you'll get the contact information out in Calgary, right? That took all of 10 minutes. But I know what I did for that individual. And I know how good he felt about me taking the time to do that for him. That's what we do. That's part of our network. So who's your network? Ding? Who's your network? Do you find value in associations? Do you find value in networking with your friends through associations, through groups?
Well, it's through association, also with all my own work contacts.
And you've been in the industry for how long?
A little while.
More than 5, less than 50?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheryl, how about you?
I rely on a lot of people. Like I was in trucking, and then I went into factoring, and now I'm into the paralegal and the law, so I rely on a lot of networking and meeting people. I go to a lot of associations, and I'm out there. People know me.
Mm-hmm. And everyone likes Cheryl?
Of course not. You can't have that.
That was the first impression. right? What's your foundation? Now, that's something that I always ask people. What is your foundation at the end of the day? And do you know it clearly? Your 4 pillars and what you rely on? Family, business, friendship, community. That's my 4. In that order. In that order. And each one looks after the other. So when you go away tonight, and when you're thinking about our visit, think about your foundation and think about your network. I've left you some points in reference to the benefits of networking, and I find them, and have found them over the years, very, very valuable. I won't go over each and every one, but where do you fit in with these points? And I've left you some space underneath. Take some time tomorrow and fill in the blanks underneath, if it's of interest. And if not, that's cool too. We all do things different ways in business, and we all do things different way in our lifestyle. But I really appreciate your time this evening. Always a pleasure to get out and meet new people. And we live and toil, in my opinion, in the greatest fraternity in the world. Now, transportation is now the 2nd largest employer in Canada. I know no greater fraternity that you can turn to and be involved with and get something back and live a pretty good life. So thank you for your time.